and I think I'm near at the finish line for it also. So if we have time, then we can check both of them.
Yeah, no, we should have time to go over everybody. Although, you know what, guys, give me 1 second. I just realized I got to grab a charger. My laptop is dying. I'll be back in 1 second.
All righty.
Yo, what up, Pika P? Come on with your presentation. Show us.
Okay, I am back. Cool. Well, it sounds like what everyone's focused on is the right thing, which is all about getting your game mechanic worked out, getting it tested, and staying there until you feel like it's the right time to move forward. So let's kick that off. Actually, this will be a bad example because Erica has done so much extra cool stuff, but we will also be able to focus on the core mechanic of Erica's current game. So let's start with that. I think a lot of you have already seen this. It is very cool, and I got to say, it's very out of character for Erica. This is an unusual Erica game, but it's really well done. Defend the Citadel. And every time I see this, there's more stuff going on. I'm already seeing new effects. Man, this is so cool. So Erica, do you want to talk through where this idea came from and how you put this together?
I gave Astro a simple wish. I wanted to do like a third person, I guess, like wizard shooter. And it just gave me like I put down, I guess, wizard shooter, and then it gave me like a 3D version of it. The only issue I'm running into is sometimes when I try to add even more cool effects, the shop stops working and things start to disappear.
Oh, meaning like, something breaks or you just lose a feature you previously added? So I have not taken a look at any...
Like, can you add... I'm sorry.
No, please go ahead. I'll finish in a second.
So when I tell it, please add cooldown to the spells, and every time I do that, the shop just won't open. It gets delayed, and I can't click anything in the shop. And then every time I try to or if I'm like, can you add more special effects? The game just freezes and stuff. And then it got rid of like the sharpnel coming off of the monsters and everything.
Yeah, that's a bummer. My guess, and I haven't looked at any of the details of your game. I haven't checked out under the hood, looked at the code. My guess, though, would be that this is probably a pretty heavy code base. Like, there's probably a lot of code for this game. And as a simple kind of general rule, the more code you've got, the more likely it is that the AI is going to start getting kind of selective amnesia and just sort of forgetting stuff or breaking things. So that's, if I just had to guess, I don't know that for sure. But just because this is a very sophisticated game with a lot of cool stuff going on, that probably comes at the cost of there being just a ton of code. So something to think about. Unfortunately, I don't have a great solution for that, but it might just be the reason why this is happening. We can talk about ways to mitigate this. It'll be a little bit hard to get it too much now. By the way, you can see I'm just playing it because it's really cool. It's just a fun game to play, even as I'm having a chat. I don't know how much we can work on this directly, just because this kind of gets into topics that go beyond Astro Academy this week. But I'm happy to keep just kind of working with you kind of offline, just conversationally, because it could also be that maybe the way you're wishing can, maybe if you share some of your wishes, we can edit them a little bit and wordsmith them to see if the way they're phrased could help Astro make slightly more surgical choices without everything kind of breaking. So there could be some stuff we can do. But in the meantime, though, to keep it kind of focused on the Astro Academy subject material, I have a few questions for you. So first of all, because there's so much going on here, it looks really good. I think your UI is in really good shape. You got a ton of cool features and a ton of great effects. If you had to kind of break this back down, though, to like the core idea of Astro Academy this season, which is core mechanics and all that, how would you describe this game's core game mechanic?
I guess the core game mechanic would be using left joystick to move around, tapping to
Mhm.
attack, and then collecting coins and potions, and then going to the shop and basically upgrading your character either through beating waves or in the shop. I guess that would be my core mechanic. Did I forget anything?
It's actually the opposite. I think you've got the core mechanic in there, but it's probably a little bit too much. So I would simplify that just slightly to say that the core game mechanic is like first person running around shooting and collecting. And even you could even maybe
Uh-huh.
leave collecting out, right? Like the core mechanic is I can run around first person, I can look in different directions, I can move, I can change my perspective, and if I tap, I shoot these magical bolts, right? And the reason that's
Uh-huh.
an important thing to focus on is because, for instance, I get these level up moments where I can choose from these upgrades and all that. That's all built on top of the game mechanic, right? So it just so
Uh-huh.
happens that this is pretty good. Like when I play this, it feels good. It feels responsive. I don't know how this runs on other kind of lower end phones. That's one thing to think about, but that's kind of a separate topic. But let's just say everything runs on other devices like it runs on mine. Then what I would say is it's all in pretty good shape. It, like I said, it feels responsive. I feel like it kind of does what I expect it to do. And because you've got like this really cool magical bolt effect, it's pretty satisfying. Like it just feels good when I tap the button and I wave my wand. I like what happens, right? And
Uh-huh.
what's important about that is if that weren't true, like say it wasn't good, say it was slow or it wasn't responsive or when I tap it doesn't work sometimes, then all the other stuff you've done, like the really beautiful looking UI, all the other effects, the upgrades, that would all be a waste of time because it's like nobody cares about that if the core mechanic isn't fun, right? So in your
Uh-huh.
case, the reason this game I think is in good shape is because the core mechanic is pretty good. Like notice as we're talking, I'm barely paying attention to the game, but I can still play it pretty fluidly because it's just well balanced, right? Like usually when a
Uh-huh.
game is poorly balanced, you got to pay a ton of attention to it because it's not behaving the way you expect. It's frustrating you. You're kind of getting messed up. But this game doesn't do that. This game I can basically just run around, go crazy, and unless I really do something stupid, I'm going to be pretty successful because it's an easy game to play, which is a good thing. And so because of that, it means
Uh-huh.
that when this level up thing happens, now I'm interested. Now I want to know maybe the glass cannon is worth my time. Maybe I'd rather have the coin magnet. I'm going to care about that because the fundamental game is good. But if the fundamental game weren't good, all this other stuff would be like, who cares? Like, I don't care about upgrading a game if the game itself isn't fun, right? So anyway, the reason I say that is because the whole point of this season is to say, let's get the basics, let's get the fundamentals good. And your game is an example of like the reason all the polish works is because the fundamentals are pretty good. So that's my summary of what I'm getting out of this game. And by the way, it looks like you're doing a pretty good job with animation. Like, look at this flaming demon guy. Like this walk cycle looks really cool. Um, and like this like Grim Reaper Wraith character with the kind of fluttering arms. Like all these animations are really working. So are you finding that you're getting better results now?
A little bit. It really depends what I wish for. Like the simple walk animation, that chest animation, and the idle ones
Mm-hmm.
are easy, but sometimes some harder, like the harder ones seem to don't work too well. It really depends. Like some games it works for me, other games it
Uh-huh.
doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, from what I'm seeing here, it looks like you had pretty good luck in this one. I also, yeah, I was going to mention the chest. This looks really cool. Check this out. When you open the chest, sorry, wrong direction. When you open the chest and it opens up in this really lifelike way, and then the coins spill out. Even little stuff, like you'll notice that the chest is on the ground with a drop shadow, always my favorite, but it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
hovering in a magical way, which is very cool. So yeah, I mean, this is great. And then this is also a good example of what you can do in 3D. And we're getting off course. This is not really Astro Academy material, but it's still good to point out. So, like, you look at the ground. The ground is just a flat plane, but it's got this nice repeating stone texture, so it looks like a sophisticated kind of video game environment. Same with this wall background. The wall is just a cylinder, but you've got this repeating stone texture, so it feels like I'm in this dungeon arena kind of thing. And then this torch is not a 3D object at all, or rather, it's mostly not 3D. It's just a billboard. So it's like a picture of a torch, but because it's always facing me, I never see that it's two-dimensional. And then, of course, the pillars are just, again, they're just cylinders. But because they're wrapped with textures, and because the bad guys in the chests are these really detailed billboards, the whole thing comes together to create a pretty convincing illusion that I'm in a really advanced 3D game. Even though if you could see all of this without the textures, it would look so simplistic you wouldn't even recognize it. But that's kind of the trick. That's the secret. So,
Mhm.
very, very well done.
Thank you.
We can go over the details offline, Erica, if you have specific questions. But big picture, is there anything that you're struggling with, or just thinking about doing next, or what? Like, where do you feel like you are with the game now? I know you mentioned like you're having trouble with wishes working, but say you got that working. Say the wishes started doing whatever you wanted to do. What would you be doing next with this?
I guess what I wrote you earlier. So the things that I wanted to do was I got the bigger map down. I was trying to
Okay.
go into the so Toxic sent me a little like video of a similar game. I want to try
Uh-huh.
to add blood, have maybe enemies fly more like that game, have the wand light up. Anything
Okay.
else, more feedback juice, and maybe have like the sharpened pieces and just I guess go into and making I guess more polish and I guess improving things and maybe like the wands in the shop if you go to the shop wands and those like maybe see if I could prove any of those and try to I guess just fix the overall game itself. Maybe just polish and just fixing things. Because
Got
when
it.
I
Got it.
sent you that image, I didn't realize that Astrocade couldn't copy it directly because I'm like I want it to look exactly like this image I generated.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work that way. It can, I mean, to me, it looks like it kind of worked because if you look up here, this is really good looking. This UI is very nice. So I think it gave you some of what you wanted. It couldn't capture your entire mockup. Um, and we can talk about that offline too. But the last thing I want before, and I'll move on to the next game, but tell me a little bit about how this got started because it sounds like you did do a little bit of that proper game mechanic testing early on. What was that like?
Yeah, so I showed it over to Toxic, and I guess he was the one that helped me fix it. So in the beginning, he's like, "Your controls are backwards." It kept like the
Mm,
try again button wasn't working, and then we just fixed it. So he helped me fix the controls, the try again button, and then the game just started coming into place a little bit more.
cool. And was he your only tester?
No, him and Skull Hunter were the ones that tested it for me.
Yeah, because I saw you. I actually shared a screenshot of this message in with Astrocade because it's exactly what we want to hear. It sounds like you put out a call for testers and said, "Does anybody want to test my game?" And then was the idea that those were the two people that responded, and you
No,
did a live play.
actually, what happened was Skull Hunter wrote me and he's like, "You want to test my games?" I'm like, "Sure," but Alex recommended we go to the playtesting channel, so we went to playtesting, and then just Toxic showed up randomly, so we all just play tested and looked at each other's games.
Nice, but it sounds like you did two different play tests with two different people.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Cool. Well, it paid off. I think you've got a really good foundation here, and it sounds like it's mostly now just getting the details worked out and hopefully getting the wishes under control.
Mhm.
Cool. All right. Well, great job, Erica. We'll talk more about this as you go.
Okay, thanks, Alex.
Cool. All right. Let's see who is next. So the way I think we should structure things today is I'm happy to just go over everyone's game. I'm going to do my usual thing, which is mostly respond to your games kind of in terms of what Astro Academy is about this season, which is about game mechanic and testing. But really, everyone's welcome to share, and we'll just approach everyone's game kind of in the same way. So I think from there, I will just go in order. Oh, do we have someone new? It looks like Infinity. You're joining the Academy, is that right? I will add you to the roster. I'll make a note, actually. Let me get a separate note, and we'll, after class today, I'll add you to the list. Okay, cool. So next up is Creative Guy, I think, with Twisted Tangle. Is that right, Creative Guy?
Oh yes, that's me.
Okay. So I have not seen this game yet. Go ahead.
This is the basic you playing right now.
Yes, great. So just to recap for everybody, the idea is because I haven't seen this game yet, Creative Guy, your job is to just let me go through this. If I ask you questions, if I ask for help, you cannot answer. You just got to let me figure it out. And then when we're done, then we can talk through it. So let's see how this goes. Okay. Oh,
So
wow, that was fast. Let me try that again.
That's good. Go to the next level.
Okay. All right. But that's it. No more talking. Let's see what I can figure this out. Okay. So the impression I'm getting is that these things are kind of twisted together in a way that I maybe need to untangle them or something.
Yes.
Okay.
So
So far, I'm kind of just separating the lines, which is
yes, I need to design the levels still, and I I don't know. I have issues with the ropes together. You know.
Yes, but let's talk about it once I've had a playthrough. Let me get through a whole. Let me just kind of play it a little bit and come to a conclusion. Then we'll talk about what's working, what's not. And I'll just share my thoughts. And the idea is this is where you can get a sense of like what does a brand new user think when they haven't seen the game before. So it looks like what's happening is the games are the lines are all kind of. Oh, I see. Okay, so the lines are intersecting, and my job is just basically de-intersect them. Okay. And I think it looks like I ran through all the levels. Is that right, creative guy?
Yes. You start over.
Okay, so now we can talk through. So I'll give you my thoughts, and then you can tell me what you think about where the game is now. So and let me restart it. So if I look at the thumbnail, Twisted Tech, I know these thumbnails are kind of just AI generated. They're not always accurate. But the impression I get is that this is kind of a not untying game. And on the one hand, that's cool. And it kind of works because it's very hands-on. Like I tap and drag, which is cool. Like I like that motion. On the other hand, though, they're not really twisted. They're just kind of overlapping, and there's nothing really stopping me. Like, I'm not sure it's possible to lose. And I also don't know what this red dot means. I'm assuming the red dot has to do with just kind of the center of where everything is. Like, maybe I want the red dot to be sort of free of being blocked by, or like the red dot can't be surrounded by these things, maybe something like that. But that's what I think so far. So what do you think of my reaction to the game? Like, how close am I to getting what you're going for?
Yeah, it's actually good. So, like I said, I want to twist it, the ropes together. That you need to more to make it harder for the player, you know. But it's very hard to tell the AI to do that, to twist it together, or to because when you have the green line on top of the yellow line and you want to pull back the yellow line over the green line, it will not happen, you know. It's very hard to do. So I need to figure out how I need to do that.
Well, let me ask you this. So forget about the twisting thing for the moment. If we put that aside, what do you what is the challenge of, or maybe there isn't a challenge, but is there like hazards or obstacles, or is it really just you just pull at these dots until you're done? Like, in other words, should it be possible for me to fail or in some way be blocked in a way that I have to, like a puzzle that I have to figure out? Because right now even though it takes a few steps to finish each level, there's nothing really stopping me. Like I just do this and I'm done. So do you feel like there's something missing there, or is that the experience you're going for? And it's not a trick question. I'm just curious what you think.
No, I just want to make a puzzle game, and it must to be a satisfying game for the satisfying gem. So I was thinking about do this with ropes, you know, untangle them.
So let me ask you this. Here's a question. I feel like if I were untying real strings in real life, one of the challenges might be that there's an order I have to follow. And if I go in the wrong order, I can almost make the tangle worse. Right now, it seems like I can go in any order. Is that true?
Yes. So
Okay. Because I think what would be really cool would be if there's a way that, like, for instance, if I pull it, maybe actually this is a bad example. Let me go to the next level. So I've got three strings here. It'd be kind of cool if somehow, say orange is the wrong way to go, or actually no, take it back. Green is under the orange. So say I pulled this back, and somehow, because it's overlapped by the orange, this actually makes the tangle worse. Like maybe the orange gets pulled with it or something. And then I realize I have to go with the top one or something, because it'd be kind of cool if you could basically mess it up. Like you could almost accidentally make the knot worse, and then you've got to like restart the level or something. Or it could also be that you're counting how many steps that I take. And if I go in the wrong order, I'll take too many steps and I get fewer points or something. I'm just looking for a way to make it feel more like a puzzle, because right now it feels like I can't really lose. So it feels less like a puzzle and more like it's just kind of you're giving me free victories. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, that's what I want to achieve. What you're talking about, yes.
Got it. Okay, cool. Well, I think the idea is great. And
Yep.
sorry, go ahead. I cut you off.
No, I was done talking.
Okay. Well, I think that what's great about this is the physical. The reason, I mean, like with Erica's game, even as we're talking, I just kind of keep playing it instinctively, which is very cool. Like that's always a good sign. I
Yeah.
feel like with me, I like the fact that I have to physically move things. That's always just a fun thing to do, and it's super simple and super casual, which is a great fit for Astrocade. I mean, this is definitely living up to the casual, mobile friendly theme that we're going for this time. Two
Mhm.
quick questions for you. One, was this based on an existing game that you've seen somewhere, or did you just invent this yourself?
I think I saw this before on other gaming forums. Yeah.
Okay. And do you think that if I don't know if there's a particular game you have in mind, if there is, does that game have anything you can copy as far as like what we're talking about, like maybe increasing the challenge or making it feel more like a puzzle?
Yes.
It does. Okay. Well, that's somewhere to look. And then the other thing I wanted to ask is, other than what I'm doing now, have you had anyone else do like a live playtest like this where you just watch them?
No, I just prompted this yesterday.
Oh, got it. Got it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then my advice would be, because I know you're working on this, as you maybe figure out the next piece of the puzzle, no pun intended, where maybe you kind of work out how do you add more of a challenge. Once you've got that, my advice is get right back in that testing channel and see if you can get people to play it live and watch them react.
Yeah, sure, I will do that.
Cool. Oh, and one other note, when you start the game, what's going on here with the very first level being complete as soon as I start?
Yes, the game just make one rope. I need to add one rope more there, so you
Oh, I
can
see. Okay.
untangle them. Yes.
The reason I ask is because I don't know if you've read the latest lesson yet, but the latest lesson brings up this very common idea in casual gaming called the guaranteed win, which is the very first thing the player has to do should be effectively impossible to lose. Like you just immediately win level one, basically. And it's like a nice way to get the game started in a positive way where you feel like you've done something right. And then when you start level two, you've kind of got this momentum because you already did something that won. That's a great idea. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but I will add
No,
one detail to that, which is sorry.
I kind of nailed it with one, you know?
Yeah, exactly. But I would say this is more like the guaranteed win, level two, because the problem with level
Yeah.
one is because I literally win automatically. It's actually confusing. I thought that something had gone
Yeah.
wrong here because, right? So this is maybe too far in the direction of a guaranteed win. Whereas level two, I take one step and I win. That's a perfect guaranteed win. So I would probably make this level one, and then everything builds on top of this. Whereas the first one with just one string, I think is too simple.
Yeah, it's just the first prompt game. I did duplicate it and have make it better.
Got it. Got it. Okay, sounds good. But I like that. I think the idea is great. So I'd say keep it up. And when you add when you add your next level of like challenge or detail, then I immediately find people to play test it and just listen to them play. Don't tell them anything until it's done, and take notes.
Yeah.
And you can figure out what works from there. But this is a really cool idea. So keep it up.
Yes, thank you.
Be little. I realized that I skipped your games. Let's go back and we'll play as yours next. Make sense? We are on Rail Riders. But when I make sure I play your game before we leave, I'll be happy to take a look at your game. Ooh, without even starting the game, I can already see B Little has been cooking. We got some cooking going on here. Click to shoot him. Oh my God, you got parallax scrolling, you got foreground elements. Man, this is looking good. This is looking very good, dude. This is so cool. This is really, really high quality stuff. So be little. Let me jump down to the bottom of the chat. What do you talk us through the changes you made? I'll share some thoughts and some opinions, but why don't you kick us off with some reflections on how you got here and what you were doing to get to this level of the game's development? Ooh, we're picking up speed. That's cool. The pillars hide the seams. That's a very clever idea. The only problem with that is it means that the pillars have to move at the same speed as the background, so you kind of miss that cool parallax effect. But I get where you're coming from, because we often find ourselves in positions where the AI gives us artwork that has like a seam or some problem that we have to figure out, and this is a very, very clever solution. So I like that. Wow, you've really put a lot of work, by the way, into like the way the character matches up. I think if I remember correctly last time, it was just kind of a floating gun. Now it's like the entire arm rotates. It looks awesome. Okay, I will follow Pika P's advice, and I will play till wave 10 and see what happens. So one thought, I'm just going to kind of think out loud here. As much as I love the look of this foreground pillar, it's really, really cool. It's a little bit annoying that it gets in the way. Now, you could argue maybe that's intentional. Oh, by the way, I just noticed there's like sparks coming off the rail car. That's cool too. Maybe that's intentional. Maybe it's supposed to add a little bit of uncertainty and a little bit of mystery to the game. So that's fair. Drove with the handbrake on. This game's got like a sense of humor. I like that. You could make the argument that this could frustrate players because they go through this, especially in the beginning when it's moving really slowly, they go through this phase where they can't really see what's going on. Now, it's your call as a game designer if you want to subject people to that. Like some games, the lights go out and you have to like fight in the dark for a second or something just to disorient you. So that could be totally valid. That's your call. But another way you could maybe do it is you could also do a kind of a transparency effect where maybe you can still see the projectiles and like a ghost version of the bad guys through the pillar. So the pillar can still cover the seam and add this cool kind of complete visual effect. But you can give the player a hint of what's going on behind the pillar so that they don't feel like the pillar is making the game unfair. You don't have to add that, and it could be a lot of work, but I just throw that out there as an idea to consider. We're on wave 8. One other thing I noticed, by the way, a second ago, I forgot what it was. I'm not seeing it now. I noticed I've got this train health bar. But I noticed some kind of, oh, there it is. Yeah, this SMG time thing. That's kind of awkwardly placed. It'd be really nice if that bar maybe appeared over here or something, just somewhere else where it's not fighting with my health bar. Because you've got a lot of space. There's really no need to overlap things. It's a super, super minor tweak, but I would suggest that. Uh-oh. Oh my God, is this like jetpack zombies? Okay, so I know wave 10 is coming up. We've got some foreshadowing that something big is coming. I just saw somebody fly by above. I'm going to make a little prediction. I'm going to make a prediction that whoever flew by me a second ago is going to come back in wave 10. And if that were true, that would be very, very cool. Ooh, whoa! I take it back. It was not what I thought. Well, it kind of was. Yes, because I got Rigger Rocket Mortis. Oh man, this is just incredibly premium. Wow, this is like a rotation animation. You know what this game reminds me a little bit of is there's a game called Metal Slug, which is an old pixel art shooter that's got just amazing detail and animation. Even by today's standards, it still looks really good. And it kind of has that vibe. This is amazing. This game is so good. Whoa, there's more backgrounds. Okay, wow. We're still on a new level, and there's even like a little cutscene. Are you guys seeing this? This is amazing. Although now I don't know what's going on. What happened? Oh, so is this okay? So this is okay. Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, this. So is this like the shop where you upgrade stuff? It looks like I'm kind of like a little. Yep, super cool. All right, so I'm not going to play it again, but I'm going to restart it real quick. So let's just recap some stuff. So something to think about is two thoughts. Either you can hold the shoot while using power-ups. Okay. In my opinion, and again, this is just my opinion. This is why, again, I say this over and over and over, but I'm trying to drill it into all of our heads, mine included. The reason why you just keep testing, as you make the game, keep testing, is you want to get average opinions. You don't want one person's opinion. You want to average together multiple opinions. And my opinion is that people might be frustrated by the pillar blocking what they're seeing for a little while. And if that's true, there's ways to fix it. But maybe it's not true. Maybe 5 other people play the game and I'm the only person that's bothered by the visibility issues of the pillar, in which case you don't need to waste any time trying to fix it, right? So I can throw all the opinions your way that I want, but before you do anything that I tell you to do or anything that anybody else tells you to do, use testing to figure out if it's actually a problem or if it's just one random dude's thoughts, right? So my opinion is it could be an issue, but you need to validate that. And then if it is, then we can talk about ways to solve it. So that's one thought. Another thought is you've added so much great juice, everything from like, look at this, like the way the guy's arm moves, which is really nicely placed. These animations are great. Someone else mentioned that one of the coolest things is that it reacts to where you shoot the zombie. So if I shoot the head explodes. If I shoot basically anywhere else, they kind of collapse in a heap. That's amazing. I hate to say it, but I still feel like there is some level of satisfaction that I'm still not quite feeling. And at this point, I'm not exactly sure what it is because you've added so much great detail. There's nothing obviously missing. But I feel like it still feels kind of light or kind of, there's like a lightness to when I'm shooting the gun. I want it to feel heavier. And I don't know if it's like maybe I want some recoil. Maybe the guy should bounce back a little bit like he's shaking when he shoots the gun. I think that would help. He may look a little too still. Like other than his arm moving, he's like perfectly static. That could be part of what I'm feeling. It could also be that the zombies, even though they animate beautifully, I would also like to see a little bit of pushback on the zombies as well. Like the whole zombie should just push back a little bit, 10, 20 pixels on the x-axis to show that there was like a force transfer. When I shot the zombie, they actually took on the energy of that bullet and sent them flying back a little bit. Could be little tiny things like that. Screen shake is always good. Yeah, I mean, you really can't go wrong with a little bit of screen shake. You don't overdo it. Too much screen shake is annoying, but right now there's none, so you can definitely add some and get a little more mileage. So it could be that simple. It could be just a little bit of shaking, a little bit of moving, and it'll make me feel like these are real bullets. Another one could be that that the bullets themselves may, I don't know. I'm thinking out loud in a way that's not totally helpful. But I feel like there's just some little extra level of feedback that'll make me feel this more deeply. But I know that the basic layout of the game is really good. Like it really works. And I think now, I know it sounds like I'm talking about polish, which is like supposed to come last. But the reason it might be important here is as you're playtesting this, you might get even better feedback from people. I know I'm using the word feedback in different contexts, so I know it's confusing. But you might get better test results, basically, if you give people a little bit more of that satisfying sense of feedback so that the goal is always to make a game mechanic where people want to play it, even if they don't care about the game itself. Like you just get lost because the clicking feels so good, the tapping feels so good. And I feel like this is close to that, but it's still not there yet. So something to think about. But really everything else about this game is great. This is really impressive work. And I think when people see this will be one of those games that inspires people to dig even deeper when it comes to visuals and effects. So amazing work, amazing work. And here we are in the new level. I love that. All right, let's get back to the flow of games. So we've done. I think the next one is going to be Scratch to Riches by Robbie. Okay, so we've got like a little lotto ticket game. Okay, I'm going to think out loud. Sometimes it's useful to just see what something looks like from the perspective of a player before they even do it. I'm going to make a prediction. My prediction is that when I tap and drag, there will be like, it'll reveal what's beneath it, and there will be like a silvery particle debris, like I'm actually scratching something off. Let's see if that's true. Let's find out. Oh, interesting. That was very much not what I expected. Board locked. Oh, okay. So let's see, you've got 25 coins. What do you want to do? I'm going to invest them. Okay, I've invested. Okay, so my first feedback, and by the way, Robbie, are you here? Because I want to talk through this while you're paying attention. If you're here, let us...
Hopefully my Discord doesn't crash.
Oh, great, there you are. Perfect. Okay, cool. So first of all, what you've got here is a totally original idea. I don't think I've ever seen a game like this in Astrocade. So that's great. You've got an original concept. And I want this to be fun because I think there's just something fun about scratching stuff off. I've just started playing this though, so this may be, by the way, if that's a problem, you should never have to scroll for an action button because I almost didn't know where to go to close this window. So that's a minor note, but make sure the done button is like separate from the scrolling list. So this thing should be able to scroll as long as you want, but the done button should always be visible. Anyway, that's not the main idea here.
You actually made the most investments in this game, so I didn't know that was a bug.
Really?
Thank you.
I'm very responsible. Yeah. I'm teaching everybody financial planning. Okay, the thing that I feel like is missing is I want to actually scratch this off. Do you know what I mean? like I feel like I tap it twice, I guess, and it almost immediately goes away. And I feel like I lose the fun of the scratching, which I was really hoping I was going to get. And remember, it's my opinion, so get other people's opinion. Don't do everything I say just because I said it. But it's something to think about
No,
because
no.
I would bet other people are expecting because scratch is right there in the title, but I'm not really scratching. The other thing I'm noticing, and this really is right at the core mechanic, so I think this is worth thinking about, is I feel like it's so abrupt when I finish the round and it says board locked. This, by the way, is also kind of unfriendly. I feel like I'm almost being like scolded for trying to scratch when I feel like I was just doing what I thought I was supposed to do. So I wonder if maybe when I'm done scratching, like it says scratch off 2 boxes, there should be more of a moment of like maybe confetti comes down or some celebration as opposed to immediately going to like a lock screen. Because at first it was so fast that it confused me. I thought that something had broken. But I feel like I'm not getting a chance to enjoy that I finished scratching. I feel like it just immediately puts me in this like locked state. And then these down here, let me put it this way. When you're done, I want a little bit more time to kind of enjoy what I did. And then when it's like, what do you want to do next? I feel like these buttons should be like right here because I almost didn't know where to go. Because I just assumed this was like the game UI, but I didn't realize these are the actual options at the end of each round. So I might bring this up. So it's like, what do you want to do is a question, and then the answer is right below it. So everything is right in the face of the user, because I think it's easy to miss this. Those are just my initial thoughts, though. Other than that, I think it's actually all feels pretty straightforward. So I'm not confused by any of it. I just feel like I wanted to have a little bit more of a sense of scratching. Because like this is like, notice these two blocks that I scratched off, the round isn't over yet. This still feels really nice. Like this view of the screen feels really nice. But then I do this and so quickly it goes into board locked. It's like instantaneous, I've got a lock in my face. So I would just let that breathe a little bit more. I want to have more of a moment of enjoyment before I make my next decision. Does that make sense?
I've actually been iterating on it. So I actually had a version where somebody was like, okay, I've scratched, what happens? And I was like, okay, let me put the buttons right in front of them. And then the buttons were in front, and it was like, okay, what just happened? And I was like, okay, let me take the buttons back down. So I'm still iterating it. And the scratch, I really do like the scratch part. I was just thinking maybe it's not core game mechanism. So I didn't put it in. But yeah, I think maybe it's a big enough feature because I do want, if this continued, I did want to have it as an actual figure out how they can make it scratch.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you look at the GIF that Pika posted, like I think that's what people are going to want. They're going to want to see they want to reveal the image. I would also, it'd be great. I mean, Astrocade would be great at this. I would ask for like more interesting images that actually reveal themselves behind the silver, because right now they just kind of look like emojis. It'd be kind of cool if like they were like custom images of like, you know, those like the cherries or whatever you can see in the GIF. The GIF is one example, but like I think you could do a lot with this. Like you've got a really cool idea that you can build on. And by the way, DM me or whatever if you want some help with the wishes. I can imagine a lot of ways to make this work really, really well. And we can work on it together if you'd like. But it would be so cool if as I'm dragging, I'm not only revealing an image, but I can see that kind of silvery flakes falling off. That would just be very, very satisfying. But I think the other reason why people are confused wherever you put the buttons is just because it's over so quickly. I think that's what's disorienting. Whereas with scratching, you know when it's almost over because you've almost revealed the image. So it's like the user can drive the pace of the game. Whereas right now, it feels like the pace is happening much more quickly than I can figure it out, right? So that would be my biggest piece of advice. But it's such a cool idea. I'm really glad you're doing this. I've never seen anyone do this before.
One more. I only did 4 rounds total, so.
Oh, okay. Let's try it. I'm gonna keep investing. Guys, always invest. Saving and investing is so important. And what's more exciting and fun in a video game channel than talking about prudent financial planning? Actually, I didn't hit shop yet. What is shop? Sorry, what was that?
I'll tell you the inspiration for the idea when you're done.
Oh, okay. Cool. Wait a second. I guess I'll hit continue. Okay, got it. You put your money to work in here. So I love that on the one hand, it's like a lottery thing, which is kind of a bad habit of gambling. And on the other hand, it's like teaching you good habits at the same time. This is funny. Wait, am I back at the beginning? I thought you said there was one level left.
No, that was it. The The
Oh,
past
got it.
was the last part is you're getting the answers. So actually, the inspiration for this game is in my country we have this program called I Blew It. And effectively, it's about people who get money really easily. So it's either from like lottery or being famous and getting a lot of money, or like we have a road accident fund. So if you get into an accident, they compensate you, and that can be into the millions. And this show is literally people blowing their money in all crazy ways. So I was just wondering if you get easy money, like this is easy money, what are you gonna do with it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a cool idea. I love it because it's like a relatable idea. I mean, everyone I'm sure can relate to the experience of kind of blowing their money on some level. But on the other hand, it's kind of funny. Like there's clearly some humor in this game that I really like. Do you mind if I ask what country you're from?
South Africa. We spoke about
Oh.
this. I said I'm from Joburg.
That's right. I do remember that conversation. Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I blew it.
Yeah. So yeah.
I wonder.
I'm gonna
Almost
evolve
like
the idea.
uh-huh.
Yeah. I think I'll
I'm sorry.
evolve the idea where you actually get to do more stuff afterwards. Like, I don't know, maybe grow a business or something. I don't know.
That'd be cool. And it would also be kind of cool if you go in the other direction, if the person really does blow their money. Like, do you have like some little cinematic outcome of like them just, I don't know, some kind of comical, funny way of depicting them blowing it would be kind of funny if you could do that.
Thinking about that, I read one of Creative Guy's comments about how he made the baby dress up game, and I'm like, this is gonna be a lot of work because I would want them to be in all the outfits and cars and driving around. Yeah.
I love it. We'll keep working on it, and like I said, feel free to DM me or whatever if you need any help. If you figure it out on your own, that's great. But if you want some help, we can talk about ways to do the scratching mechanic because I think that's very doable.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Yeah, of course. Thanks for the great idea. Okay, upgrade edits. I hope you are still with us. I know your battery's dying, but let's check out Emerald Tycoon. So I'm going to do another playtest. I am just going to share my thoughts. I am not going to read the chat until I'm done, and then we can talk about it. Okay, so right off the bat, I can definitely. Is this like a clicker? Oh, I guess it's kind of an idle clicker. Okay, cool. So I figured out. I think at least I figured out that it appears to be kind of a clicker game. New resource stone. Okay, so I'm clicking and it looks like I'm unlocking. By the way, the game looks great. I love this background and this pixel art emerald thing. That's very, very, very cool. Really like that look. Let's just see what happens if I just keep clicking for a while. Oh, I guess the next one is 500. That'll take some time. Maybe I won't go quite that far. I will buy some stone and I'll buy some wood. Okay. So I'm racking up clicks. And then there's, oh, that's cool. There's like a market. There's like wood futures and stone prices. I wonder if I can afford any upgrades yet. Tap power. I guess I can do this. How much does this do for me? Oh yeah, okay. This is speeding up my click rate or power per click, I guess. I also want some passive income. I'm just gonna let me get one of those. Okay. And is this working? Yes, it is working. Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, these games are just bizarrely fun. You wouldn't think this would be fun, but there's something strangely compelling about just clicking and then upgrading your clicking ability. Okay, so I feel like to me, the mechanic of the game is pretty clear. I don't feel like I'm struggling to figure it out, and I really like the look. Okay, so overall, I think this is kind of working for me. Upgrade edits. If your battery has not completely died yet, wait, am I mixing you up? Was someone else battery dying? Anyway, what do you have any thoughts to share with us? Let's see. Oh, there you are. I'll wait for this response. Yes, the game is basically a game where you get emeralds, and if you see closely, the price of items are changing. This, by the way, is cool. This pulsating effect is pretty nice. Yeah, so I mean, look, I like it. How do you feel about where you are? And my usual question have you done any testing on this? Have you had other people play it live while you watch them? Okay, so that's my advice. I mean, I say it's my advice. It's not like I think anything is wrong with this. I think it's actually looking pretty good. But I think because you've got some actually kind of cool, sophisticated features, I think this idea of changing prices is very, very cool. That's an interesting idea. Oh, and you got the guy down here, the villager guy. My advice would be just get more people's opinion on it. When I'm playing this, I like it. I feel like for me, it's working pretty well. But just like I tell other people, if one person has a problem with your game, don't immediately change it. Find out if other people have the same problem. But likewise, if one person likes your game, and I think it's pretty good, same thing. Don't just assume it's great. Get other people to play it and see if I'm an outlier or see if other people like it too. Basically trying to show people, yeah, no, I like it. It's got a kind of like fun, colorful way to kind of understand market dynamics or something, which is really cool. I mean, in a lot of ways, it's almost like a version of the previous game. It's like you've got a lot of scratching, and then you've got like, almost like futures trading or something. Super cool. I like it. Keep it up. Next up, by the way, I may not be going entirely in order of people who are in Astro Academy. I apologize. And just so everyone knows, we will be doing Astro Academy through Friday. So we'll be meeting every day this week. So there'll be plenty of opportunities to talk about your games. Hopefully we'll get to everybody today, but if not, we will not be done Wednesday. We're going to add a couple extra days. Okay, this game is Guardian of the Shards. Okay, initial advice just for anyone listening to this, I always highly advise not starting on a screen like this because it's just not clear what any of this, like I don't know what hard mode means or boss mode because I haven't played the game before. And whatever happens when I hit characters or equipment, that could be useful, but I feel like until I've played the game and until I like it, this is just giving me options that I don't need. So my advice is get into the game itself as quickly as possible. And then when you want to offer this kind of stuff, like there's nothing wrong with these options, but generally speaking, my advice is they should come a little bit later as opposed to being the first thing a new player sees. Okay, so I'm in the game. I am a glowing green square walking around a kind of a grass texture. And whatever mana means, I'm losing it quickly. I'm not really sure what I'm doing yet. I think I'm collecting these things. There's a mini map, and about to run out of mana, whatever that means. Doesn't appear to have really done anything. I don't know if these are. I feel like these should be enemies, but I also feel like. Oh no, that cost me health. So that guy did hurt me. Okay, so this is an example of where I feel like the basics need a little bit more testing with different types of users to build on, because right now it looks like there's a lot of detail, but it's also not really clear exactly what's going on. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to be growing, and if I grow, then can I consume these guys? Nope, I don't think so. Yeah, so I don't know if I don't know if our user is here, but sorry, let me send a message to the creator of this game. Oh, creator isn't here. Okay. Well, for anyone else watching, my reaction to this game is that it's a little hard to figure out what's going on. On the one hand, I don't want a big text instruction screen, but I would like maybe some in-game explanation of what I should do. I don't think there's any way to like fire. I don't seem to have a weapon. And maybe my job is just to evade these guys and collect stuff, which is fine. That could be totally valid. Not totally clear though. And even though I do like games with different styles, I feel like this looks a little bit too simplistic. Like I would either find a way to make the boxy look more deliberate, or I would add some more detailed graphics. So one of the two. Right now it looks kind of in between. And I guess this is just a boundary. Yeah. Okay. Well, we can talk about this more with the creator if they show up for another meeting. But for now, that's my feedback for everyone else's benefit. Okie dokie. let's move on to the next game. I see there's another game from Upgrade Edits. We can look at that maybe next time, but I want to make sure everyone gets at least one game in. Here we go. Skull Hunter, one of our students. Let's see what Skull Hunter's come up with. Naruto game. Wait, is this? Did I play this? I'm blanking. This looks familiar, but I can't remember if I played this game or not. Okay.
Yeah, I think I have sent you directly already.
Yeah,
so
right.
Played it.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got, by the way, I appreciate your own voice. Anyone that wants to join on voice, you're always welcome. It's very easy to chat that way, but whatever you guys are comfortable with, we can do voice, we can do text. Okay, so I'm looking at a grid. I can't do anything yet, but I feel like I can do this. So I can recruit a ninja. Okay. And I'm guessing this is a merge kind of game, which it looks like it is. So I'm going to keep going with this. This kind of reminds me of the Dragon Ball Z merge game that we played last time. These games are really fun. For whatever reason, they're just you kind of get hooked as soon as you start merging. So, so far, I feel like my advice is always this, by the way, and I know some people may disagree, but my advice is to assume that even if it's a really common genre, assume that there's a chance that people just don't really know what's going on and they will need a little bit of help. Because of some familiarity with the genre, I figured it out pretty quickly. And it is very simple. It's not like this game is complicated, but it might be nice to have just a little nudge that kind of gives you a sense of what to do next, just in case somebody clicks around and doesn't realize there's a button and they might feel lost. But that's a minor thing. The other thing I'm noticing is that what's kind of unfortunate about this currently is that the merge distinction is pretty similar. Like, there's not major visual changes. Like, for instance, let me put up a few of these. So look, look at what this guy looks like, and when I combine him, it's other than the headband and the hair being a little bit spikier, it's a very, very minor change. So I feel like it'll be, for two reasons, it's good to make this a little bit more clear. One is like, I'm already almost confusing these a little bit. And two, it just isn't quite as satisfying as it could be. I want to feel like something really cool happens when I merge. So I would suggest that, but these are just changes to visuals. They're not game mechanic changes. So it's more of just an aesthetic thing. Other than that, talk us through how you got to this point. What's your journey making this game been so far?
So for this one, I also based my game on the Dragon Ball Z one, and the reactions that you gave is what I expected, because when we did the testing with Erika and Toxic, they also gave the same reaction, like this is good as a core mechanic, but it only needs a lot of more work to be done here, like adding special effects and so on.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. So what you've demonstrated beautifully, like I want everyone to pay attention to this. This is a great demonstration of this. Is you've now got at least 3 people. It sounds like Erika, me, and was Toxic the other person you mentioned?
Yep.
So Erika, me, and Toxic have played the game, and it sounds like we all basically gave them the same feedback, which now means that you know exactly what to do. Like, you don't have to second guess anything. You don't have to worry that you're wasting your time. I think it's pretty safe to say that if you make the changes that 3 different players all independently gave you, you're probably doing the right thing, which is perfect. This is awesome to see. So I think now, if you follow the advice, because again, I agree with what they said, the basic game mechanic is in good shape. A little bit of polish and a little bit of maybe extra help with some of the details, this could become a really, really good game. But the beauty of doing this now is you're doing it knowing it's basically certain that it's the right move. Whereas you may have come to the same conclusion just from figuring it out yourself. But even if you're right, as you're working on the game, you're not sure that you're right? So there's something very cool about vetting it and just knowing from experience that this is a common piece of feedback, which puts you in a really good position as a game creator. So great demonstration of testing the game mechanic. By the way, I don't know if this is intentional, but I'm noticing I've got a coin counter, I've got this button, and I've got the grid, and I have nothing else. And that's perfect, because that means all I'm focused on is your core mechanic, right? So the feedback I'm giving you, I'm not distracted by upgrades and the UI and background images. I'm just giving you feedback on the core mechanic, which is exactly the thing you want right now. So this is another great example for everyone to follow. Focus on the core mechanic, take out the distractions, and then let multiple people play it, and then use their feedback to guide what you do next. And it really is that simple. So great job. I really appreciate how closely you followed the steps here.
Thank you. And also we can all sorry.
No, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the feedback, and I also already have done the changes that Eric and Toxic mentioned, and basically I have another version of this game with all of those improvements, which we can test later on, I think, if we have some time, so that we
I
don't
love it.
take
Yeah, and maybe
all
we'll
the
get to
time.
it tomorrow or something. But I definitely want to see it because what I want people to see is the progression. So now we've all seen what it looks like when you make a basic game mechanic and test it, and you get your feedback. And then the next thing you can show us is how did you actually use that feedback. So I'm very excited. This is awesome. Cool, but thanks. I really appreciate you demonstrating this for us. All right, so the next game is High Quality's Tennis Bat City. Oh wow, this is full disclosure. I have played this game already. This will not be a completely. Sorry, I'm not even paying attention yet. This will not be a completely objective demonstration, but the first time I played it, it was. So just trust me when I say that. Okay, so I'll start this over again, and it looks like I've got like a tennis ball firing machine, and then I hit the ball, and then it goes flying, and then it bounces. This is really cool. Oh, and I guess it looks like my ball, just as it bounces, can sort of collect power-ups, which is kind of fun. Oh, that was a bad shot. That was terrible. Okay, and then I've got these obstacles I have to hit. So it looks like you fixed a bug we saw last time, which is that after you play the game a couple times, the city gets overrun with cars and it slows the game down. So I like that you fixed that. So the game looks and feels pretty great. I think the main thing that I might have an opinion on, I'm going to play it a couple more times to be sure, is the only thing I'm not totally sure about is the actual swinging mechanism. I feel like one potential issue I have with it is, oh, and I can affect. I didn't realize I can affect the ball's trajectory with the arrow keys. That's cool. That's a fun little extra detail. Is I feel like the way I swing, it feels kind of. Let me do it a couple more times. So it feels like it's kind of a timing thing. Here's what I'm trying to get at. Sorry, I'm not being very articulate right now. When I'm playing the game, there's two things I'm looking at. One is the ball is coming towards me, and then I have this kind of temperature gauge on the side of the screen that goes from red to green. And my guess is that I want to swing when it's like as close to green as possible to get like the maximum power. Oh, and that looks like maybe that was the best, or near the best. Maybe, I don't know. What I'm not sure about though is if I need to see both. Like on the, because it seems like the red to green meter and the ball are kind of measuring the same thing. Like it's not like the ball is at whatever position it's at, and then I swing with whatever strength I want. It seems like the strength of the swing is tied to the movement of the ball. High Quality, if you're here. Oh yeah, I see you're here. So here's my feedback. I feel like when I swing the ball, it doesn't really matter how I swing. I just have to wait for the bar to get up here, and then I think that was almost the very edge of the meter. If I get it at the right moment, I get like a powerful swing. But it seems like that's it's always the same point. In other words, so my goal is always to wait as long as I can and try to get it at the very last second. Whereas I think what might make more sense, and I'm just thinking out loud here, so just bear with me. Then I feel like it might make more sense if I can always swing at whatever power level I want. So I have to get both the power level where I want it and the timing where I want it independently. Whereas right now I feel like the power level and the timing are the same thing. Is that right? No, you move it in the air. Oh, I don't know if that's an answer to my question. So it seems like basically every time I play the game, the object is just to wait until the last second, right? Like, is that correct? Because if that is correct, it'd be nice if these things were separate, and if I could hit any level of power I want at any time I want, and then I have to get the timing right while balancing the power level. Let me know if that makes sense. I will say this though, it feels, when you get it right, it feels pretty good. The motion is really nice. You've put together this really good game world where the ball bounces around. That's really cool. The way there's cars parked and there's like things to bump into, that's great. Yeah, so there is an upgrade shop. For the time being, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore that because I want to focus on just core mechanic testing and not let an upgrade shop distract my opinion. Because I'm just going to assume that whatever the upgrade shop does, it'll only make the game mechanic better, which means the real question is how do we get the game mechanic itself in the best possible position? So yeah, so I guess my feedback is when it all works out right, it feels pretty good. Like I really like the feeling of just like cranking it out there at max power. And maybe this works. Maybe this is not necessarily a problem. This is, again, I say it all the time, but this is why testing is good. See if other people have similar feedback. And if I'm the only one saying this, maybe you can ignore what I'm saying. But I just feel like the whole game boils down to waiting to the last second. That's all I do. And maybe that's good because maybe that's simple. Maybe you want it to be really, really simple. It's just kind of a timing game. Another way to think about it is maybe you want to add a little extra complexity by juggling both timing and power, but that's your call. Okay, so I'm actually running out of time here. I'm gonna have to get some other stuff, but let me play a couple more quick games, and then we can continue talking in the channel, and we can meet back here tomorrow. I want to play But When I's game, Impact Golf. But When I, are you still here? I think you were the one who said you had battery power issues. Is that right? Great, you're here. Awesome. Okay, let's check out your game. Impact Golf. Okay, so sorry to ding you right off the bat, but I always strongly advise not starting with text because it's just, people are not likely to read it, and this is kind of a turnoff. But let's assume this gets fixed. That's an easy problem to solve. For now, I will read it just to play along. Drag from the ball to aim your shot, then release the putt. Obstacles, okay, simple enough. Alrighty. Okay, very cool. So far, this is a really nice looking 3D like mini golf game. I'm just going to aim straight for this. Oh, okay. That was not that was not what I expected. Okay, so the idea here is great, but I'm definitely having an issue with. Let me try this again. I'm definitely having an issue with getting this to go in the direction I want. I guess I had that backwards. Okay, this makes more sense. Ooh, that was less power than I thought I had. Oh, I can do much more power. Okay, great. Let's see if this is too much. Huh. Still seems like it feels... Ooh, that was not good. It still feels surprisingly weak. When I say surprising, is I expected it to go further than it did, but that should do it. Okay, great. All right, so when this works, it's good. I'm just gonna ignore this because, and again, everyone listening, never make me have to scroll for the action button because people will not know it's here and they'll think they're stuck. So take that button out of there. Ooh, wow, we got like real mini golf obstacles. This is very cool. All right, so here's my feedback. So one, I feel like I am expecting it to go further than the trajectory. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just wrong to think that, but like I really expect this to be more power than I'm getting. So that's one thought. The other thought is that I don't know if I love the idea of putting in the trajectory and then changing the perspective. I feel like it might be kind of nice if the perspective just always stays top down, and then you hit the ball immediately. I don't know if I need two steps of first pulling it back and then I hit the hit button, right? I feel like it might be kind of nice if it was all one motion and the perspective doesn't change. So let me jump back into the chat. I've just been talking without reading any of the chat responses. And yes, by the way, I am playing on a laptop, so make sure to test it on both mobile and desktop devices because our players play both. I'll explain Delta time offline. For now, yes, I'm agreeing with Sturmjäger, which is that the power needs. I feel like I just need more power. I'm expecting more power. Yeah, I would. It's in order to do these calls though. It's much easier to play on the desktop. And just assume some people will never play on one or the other devices. Some people are going to only play on their phones. Others will only play on desktop. So you kind of got to make sure both are working, right? But yeah, I think what you've got is great. Like this could be a really, really good mini golf game. But what I think I would like is I want the power to feel more like what I'm expecting. And I don't see any reason why changing the perspective and adding another step helps. I think it kind of actually breaks up the rhythm of the game where I could get some kind of momentum going, but instead I keep stopping to move the camera and then taking another step. Like I feel like letting go, I've basically already put in my move And so having to hit a hit button doesn't feel like it adds anything. It just feels like it slows me down. So I will say this to answer a good question from Storm Hunter. What is the platform percentages? It is the majority of the people are definitely on mobile. So I don't want to overstate it. It's not like it's half and half. It's not even close. But there definitely are people playing on both, and you don't want to lose anybody, right? And because it's web-based, the beauty of a web-based game is that it plays fluidly on any platform. So it's worth taking a little bit of time to just try it on your computer, try it on your phone, and just make sure that both of them play the same. But it's a great start. This could go in a really, really good direction. I think we are almost caught up. I'm gonna have to run in just a minute, but and if I don't get to you today, we'll make sure to get to you tomorrow. But I think we're getting pretty close. Looks like the next one could be CSpark. CSpark games are always exciting. So let's check out Color Tunnel. Navigate the Neon Void. Oh, I think ooh, wow. This is cool. This is very cool. Ooh, I like that shadow, by the way. That looks really good. This is an example of a game where the moment you start playing it, you kind of get hooked. I don't think I've played this, and I think it's my first experience, and I am instantly transfixed, instantly caught up in it. No tutorial, no onboarding, no real like detailed introductory sequences, and I am just flying. I'm into this game so fast. These are the kind of game mechanics we all kind of want, I think, which is someone picks it up and just without even thinking about it, they're kind of into it. This is amazing. Wow, that's humbling. Pika P did 6 times better than me. Okay, I'm going to not think about that. I got to play it one more time. And you know what? I'm not even playing this game to be, instructive or to give feedback. I'm just playing it because it's fun, which is always the best reaction. This is I love the simplicity of it, but even though it's simple, it feels like it shouldn't be any more complicated. It's not simple in that it's missing anything. It's just simple in that it's like exactly what you want it to be. But you know what I would love? I keep finding myself pressing the up key. It'd be really cool if there was like a boost. Like if I want to push my luck, I can make the guy go faster. I don't even know if speed matters that much. Maybe it's never even a good idea to go faster, but it'd be kind of fun if I just want to like go flying past something. I can hold down the up key and go faster. And then it's up to me to use that responsibly and not kill myself. But, did it again. Well, slightly beat my lame score. Something to think about it. Here's what's great about a game like this. So I'll stick to the mechanic because that's the point. I feel like the game mechanic is great. This is just one of those naturally playable games. I feel like I need basically no instructions. It looks really good. It looks like it's made out of, kind of low poly graphics, but that's part of the charm of it. So I don't think I'd even want to change that. I think where you can go next, though, because this is just so naturally fun and easy to play, is it'd be cool to throw in, maybe different kinds of hazards, like maybe some things that move around the edges, like obstacles because you've already got the spinning bar things, which is really cool. And maybe it could be like little guys that grip the sides and they go in circles. You have to avoid them. And then of course, things like power-ups. I can get like a shield, temporary invincibility. Maybe you can even get like a temporary weapon. I can shoot a couple shots to blow up obstacles sometimes. But also you might decide that the beauty of this game is that it doesn't have any of that stuff. And you just want simplicity, which is also totally valid. One good thing about testing is it's not just about finding what's wrong. It could also be finding what people want. Like if everybody says, I wish I had a speed boost or I wish I had an invincibility power up, probably worth adding. If I'm the only one that says that, maybe you don't add it, so it's up to you. But yeah, exactly. Add guns to destroy obstacles. But I love it. This is excellent. Really, really good stuff. Okay, so IQ Level Up is asking to play the game. Who am I to say no to that? Let's do it. You're the next one anyway. Perfect timing. Yeah, of course. Thanks for the great game, CSpark. I really like it. Oh, similar. At least visually similar looking game. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, okay. This is actually kind of a similar game, but a different kind of style. So let's see if I'm getting this right. Is it that you click anywhere on the grid to move into that? One thing I would say is that if I'm playing on desktop, it'd be really nice if I could use the arrow keys. I feel like it'd be a lot better at the arrow keys. But this makes total sense on mobile of just tapping. Um, yeah, I don't know what it is. There's something about using a touchpad that makes this grid kind of hard to use. I feel like this would be super, super fluid on mobile. I think that's great, but I could use a little bit of help doing it on desktop. I seem to struggle with it a little bit. Um, the other thing, and we just played a game that was so similar that we can kind of use that as kind of for contrast, is, oh, can I not go into the center? I guess that makes sense. I can only cling to the walls. Is that right? Oh, I can. Okay. Can I? I feel like I'm never. I mean, it's your game. Yeah, you'll know. But let's see. Can I? I feel like I can't seem to do it. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Okay, so anyway, here's what I love. I love the wireframe 3D look. That looks awesome. Here's one thing that's kind of throwing me off though. So we've got these really clear geometric hazards, cubes and pyramids and all that. That looks great and it makes total sense. But then you've got these like spinning rotor things in the middle that have this glowing, more fluid look. And I don't know how well those go together. Like, because they don't both look like the same. They don't both look like obstacles. One of them looks like a hazard to avoid, but at first I almost thought those were power-ups to collect or something. And part of it is because they're glowing and they don't have that solid look that the blocks do. They're moving and the blocks aren't. And the other thing is the blocks and the pyramids fit into the grid so neatly that it's very clear where I'm supposed to go to avoid them. Whereas these spherical things kind of overlap different grid cells, and it's not as clear what I'm supposed to be doing with them. Like I think I'm supposed to avoid them. It looks like I'm dying when I hit them. But they also look like me. Like I'm also kind of a glowing sphere. So it's a little bit weird that the thing I'm avoiding kind of looks like a version of myself. So I think what you've got here is an awesome foundation. I love the kind of grid-based movement. And I'm just a sucker for these 3D tunnel games because they're really simple and they're really fun. But the style of these different obstacles, if they're obstacles and I have that right, is throwing me off a little bit. What do you think about that? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. But you're saying when I hit the things in the middle, that's what happens. Like, let me just let this guy hit me, see what happens. I'm gonna run into this. Wait, are those things hitting me? So okay, so those things are power-ups. Oh, okay, good, good. Got it, got it. No, okay, well then that's my mistake. Oh, wow, this looks super cool. I love the look of this. Oh, and then the idea is if I hit an obstacle that I go back one level. Oh no, I died immediately. By the way, dude, I'm telling you, I cannot get into the center cell. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but I can only seem to be on the edges. Or do you mean you can pass the center, but you can't stop in the center? Yeah, I cannot seem to do that. It's not like if I tap any other grid cell, I go there. Sorry, say that again. Yeah, no, that makes sense, but I'm saying like if I click any of these grid cells, I go there, right? But if I click the center, I don't go to the center. Okay, all right. So now we're getting it. Got it. Okay, I thought you could actually stop there, but if you can't, that makes sense. Okay. Okay. Well, this is all coming into place. So I think everything you're explaining is making sense to me. This, by the way, is kind of the beauty of testing. Is I may be an outlier. See if other people get it more than I do. I feel like once you explain this, it makes a lot of sense, and I really like it. But the fact that I had to be explained, either there's something wrong with me, I'm a random player that doesn't get it, or other people might be confused. So I would use this feedback to determine if either something has to be visually made clearer or if you need some kind of a tutorial. But now that it's clicking into place, it's really good. Like you've got a lot of great stuff here. The visuals are really cool. There's a lot of interesting ideas mechanically. It's just a question of maybe getting it to be a little bit clearer to a first-time player. But the more I play it, the more I like it, and I really like how much thought you've put into some of these details. Oh, I will say this though, I find it very awkward to play on desktop using the mouse, or using a trackpad rather. If I could use arrow keys, I would be probably completely addicted to this. And then on mobile, I think touch is fine. So I think you're already good. To go to, sorry, say that again.
He means the corner, because with keyboard it's hard to get to the corner.
So I would honestly, I would just do it with a bunch of quick taps. Like I would feel fine doing that. Like, so I get what you're saying. It's like if I want to go from here to here, that's one tap, and that's great. So I'm not even saying get rid of it on desktop. Maybe people like it that way. But what I would do is I'd be like tap 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 tap, and I would do that super quickly. Like as just a PC gamer, I would be used to doing that, no problem. But again, maybe. But so let me ask you, how many other people have play tested this? Have you watched play test the game? Okay. So that's good. I mean, that's a great start. My advice is always watch the game while they're playtesting, because there could just be little subtle things that they might even forget to tell you. You might notice it more than they do because you're watching. But the question is, if anybody else says, I would prefer to use arrow keys, I think it's worth thinking about. If I'm the only one that says that, then maybe it's not needed. Maybe it's just a quirk of the way I play. But it's something to think about. Anyway, overall, though, I think this game is a really awesome start. I think you've done a great job of laying it out. There's just a couple details that didn't totally make sense to me. So your job, I think, is to find out if I'm unusual or if that's a common issue, and then act accordingly. But it's a great start. Oh, and it's kind of fun when you've got to kind of swing past it to grab the power ups because you can't stop in the middle. I like that a lot. Cool. This is great stuff. Oh, numeric keyboard. That's interesting. Not everyone has one. My MacBook doesn't have that, but that is an interesting idea. All right. Well, this has been great, everybody. I think there's so many good games here, and there's so many good game mechanics, and it's clear a lot of you guys are doing testing, which is the most important thing. So I'm glad to see that. We'll be back here live, same time tomorrow. And in the meantime, please always just @ me, @Alex in the Astro Academy channel if you have questions, or DM me if we're DMing. Either way works for me. So great job, guys. See you soon.
Thank you, thank you. Have a good one. Bye bye.